Mitch Miller here. It is Thursday, March 24th, 2022 at 6:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, USA. So, I've been making these videos kind of as a test run for my podcast, stuff I'm going to publish on my podcast. Got a little update on my employment situation. After one more week, I will be on the payroll at Neon Grouse Embroidery and Screen Printing Shop. I will be making $15 an hour on the books. So that's going to be good. I'll report that to Social Security Disability Administration, and I believe there's a probationary period before I totally lose my benefits after about a year or 9 months. So while I would continue to keep ties with the embroidery shop because of my clothing line label and for disabled people and my clothing ideas and how many clothing line entrepreneurs actually make the embroidered clothes and the screen printed clothes themselves. They don't just outsource it to contractors. So if my label ever takes off, I'd run it through the Neon Grouse, but I would rather be doing innovation for some company, or, obviously I want to start my own company, but I need the capital to do that. I need to make more than $15 an hour. I think I could be an asset to an elected official, could look at the problems of their district and probably work out systems to solve those problems, especially if I had a technology company or a startup. So I'm willing to work for, we'll say, $21 an hour. I'm willing to leave Neon Grouse for $21 an hour or more. If I don't have to relocate, if I have to relocate, probably need more money than that to cover rent. Probably rent a cheap apartment and spend all the rest of my money that I don't spend on food and the small bills I have at this location on starting that startup. Periscope, Alma Voter. Anyway, I'm going to be employed, so there's no sense holding back offering me a job opportunity because I collect disability, and you don't want to ruin that for me. That whopping $1,000 a month, it does help, but no excuse. So I'm going to talk about the Postal Service today. What I would do as Postmaster General, head of the Postal Service. So I think 20 years ago, when the internet came into popularity and emails started taking away business from the United States Postal Service, I think they should have offered a government-issued email for every citizen in the United States. Offered it. Now, half of the citizens aren't going to use it, wouldn't take them up on the offer because they're paranoid about the government. But the people that trust the government more than a bunch of greedy rich people running corporations would use that email service. So you could offer a free email service to every citizen of the United States, say of voting age 18 or older. You would go to the Postal Service location, show your ID, and be issued a email. I was thinking probably the best system for your email address would be your state identification number. So if you lived in Pennsylvania, it would be PA state identification number if you, whatever state you live in, it would be the state initials, then your ID number at USPS.com or whatever. You get your government issued email. You're only one email per person. It's verified via your state issued ID. You can pay more so you could advertise on the emails, have advertising to cover the cost of this endeavor. People can pay a subscription fee to have advertising free email, just like a lot of other companies offer. But here's the thing, we share photos, we share videos of our infant children and stuff on Facebook, on these social media sites, and even on privately owned email servers. They can take those images and do whatever they want with them, really. I trust the government more to protect and safeguard those images than some private company. They're probably using a picture of your baby to advertise on a billboard in Japan, and you would never know because you're not in Japan. So they can take those images and use them for advertising, do whatever they want. The government issued email, hopefully that wouldn't happen. It would be safer. It's a safe way to share photos and maybe short videos. Maybe you can pay for an option to be able to share more storage on your email subscription. So it's a way to bring in revenue for the Postal Service. I don't get why Republicans take over government agencies and they just sabotage them. They gut them. The innovators in the private sector try to grow their business, but Republicans don't believe in big government, so they won't grow things like the United States Postal Service. They won't use their innovation to make it profitable and to grow it. They want small government, and that's a government agency, so they want to gut it and sabotage it. It's ridiculous. If it was their own company, they would want to grow it. Now, some hostile takeovers take over corporations, break them up and gut them. I understand that for the assets, but that's kind of a cutthroat way of doing things, and frankly should probably be somewhat illegal. Anyhow, so that's one thing I would do with the U.S. Postal Service if I was Postmaster General. Do I think Biden's going to appoint me to that? Probably not. He's not going to do anything too risky because he's got a re-election coming up. What else can you do with this email situation? Well, you have an account through the USPS now, an email account and an account, so you can make postal delivery easier. Instead of putting a hold on your mail, you can go into your account and you can put a hold on your mail. Hey, I'm going to be gone Tuesday, Wednesday. I want you to hold my mail. They'll hold it up to 2 weeks or whatever. You can schedule when you will be back to have mail delivered, packages delivered. So easy click in, click on holding your mail. Change of address. You probably still have to file a separate thing with your ID, but you could link that to the USPS account and change your address easily on their website through your account. To go even further revenue for the United States Postal Service, you could begin printing advertisements and holiday and greeting cards at a location in every state, and people could order custom cards, design them on the USPS website through their account, and even upload pictures, things like that, and design their cards just like Shutterfly offers for holiday cards, the United States Postal Service could offer that. And one package, send them out to people as a way to raise revenue. So those are just some of my ideas. It's time to modernize the United States Postal Service. Okay? Everybody should be offered a free email from the government. I talked about sharing video or photographs. You could even offer an upper echelon of subscription where you can send encrypted video and encrypted emails and things of that nature, so that people can rest assured that their privacy is at the utmost echelon at the USPS. Much like a sealed letter coming through the snail mail is. It's one of the most private ways you can send a message. So, as with anything, government agencies would have to get a warrant to search these emails. Some people that are paranoid about the government would probably think it would be easier for them to get warrants to search that email than, say, through Gmail at Google or things like that. Who knows? Should be the same amount of difficulty. As Postmaster General, I would make sure it's the same amount of difficulty to access those emails. So, those are some of my ideas for the United States Postal Service. It's time to modernize this service, make it profitable, offer the services people need in the technological era. We offer mail to every home in the United States just about, and business. Why wouldn't we offer a free email service for every citizen age 18 and older? So if I'm assigned, or if I'm nominated for Postmaster General, that's what I would begin doing, finding room in the budget to modernize the United States Postal Service. So I don't really have much else to say. Took about 12, well, I taught for 3 minutes at the beginning, so took about 10 minutes to talk about this for my pod, so that's perfect timing for my podcast. This was a good practice run. Tune in to Saturday when I talk about what I would do as head of NASA. And yeah, as the director of NASA, I have some ideas. And what I'm getting at is I have a lot of good ideas for the federal government. I have a lot of good ideas for local government, state government, and the federal government to modernize and become the services that people want, need, and deserve. Hopefully by publishing these things on my podcast, people can access them someday if I ever become popular and make a choice. I mean, if Donald Trump runs again in 2024, we have 2 years I mean, I have conservative viewpoints and I have liberal viewpoints. So it wouldn't hurt to put me up as a nomination for President of the United States. A 40-year-old president. I can show that we can say things to the government. We can stick up for the people. We can say things to people without being a bully. Donald Trump is a bully. He likes to use his clout and his power to bully people. I can say things intelligently to people and still make them think about what they're doing. So yeah, I mean, I'm just a country boy from Western Pennsylvania. I was a contractor. I was a coal miner. If Donald Trump can be president of the United States for 4 years, then a man with schizoaffective disorder can be president of the United States for 4 to 8 years. So I don't think I'm going to announce this on my podcast. I'll let people decide on their own, but you somehow got access to this private video. Consider it. I'll make a lot of logical, sane changes, and people will walk away saying, why did it take a mentally ill person to make the world make sense? And that's what a lot of mental illness is. The world just doesn't make sense to us. We're doing things so stupidly, and even these tech companies are just doing things for profit. They're not using technology in the best possible ways, that it drives us to frustration, to breakdowns, and it just there would be a lot more mentally healthy people if someone like me got a leadership position. So maybe I'm not ready for president in 2024. It was just an idea. I would like to be chairman of the FCC. I think that's the best possible route. I've published what I would do. I think for a voting platform at the government level, I know a lot of elected officials are going to say we're not ready to vote on how tax money is used. The public is not ready to vote on how tax money is used. We're not going to appoint him Secretary of the Treasury. We're not ready for a voting app for all constituents to help guide politicians in their decisions. I think we are, but we can't use public money to do that like I would probably do as president. So where do we come down to test the waters on this actual democracy, this direct democracy, this everyone votes on everything? The FCC. We build an accreditation system for news agencies, and we fine them for reporting false information or lies. And the people, every 18-year-old and older in the United States, have the opportunity to vote on whether that company is fined, and hypothetically how much they are fined. It's the democratic way to allow freedom of speech, to allow people to have the right to not be lied to by the media. And that's one reason why Trump was elected, because he attacked the media. So let's do it logically. Let's not just scream at them and berate them and then use social media to bully people. Let's vote on it. Let's do it the democratic way. So FCC is where I still think the best place for me is. But if I was elected president, I would take the position. Now, my wife would divorce me. She's already told me that she would not be the first lady. She would not, she wouldn't stick with me if I ran for president. So that could be a motivator for some people. It could be, you might look at her as my stability in other regards. I think I would be okay if she divorced me. We would still remain close and friends, but nobody wants a single president of the United States. Anyway, FCC is where it's at, but I'll end on this. If you enacted the Periscope platform where every elected official gets a vote on specific decisions they make, it would allow the President of the United States to see, to actually pull the public. So I've criticized Trump for not even attempting to put in place term limits on the Congress. I've also criticized Biden because he has not even attempted to abolish the Electoral College. Well, if they had this platform, this Periscope platform, they would be able to see that the American public, 58% of the American public wants term limits on Congress. They would be able to see cold hard facts. 58% of the United States public want to abolish the Electoral College. Then they can take this to lawmakers and say, let's get this bill going, because this is how the popular vote is right now. And furthermore, as President of the United States, I would do a direct democracy I would use campaign money to enact a Periscope platform for my campaign and have it in place so that people within a department or an agency in the federal government can vote on my appointment to the head of that department or agency in my cabinet. And I would keep a podcast of my daily activities, my decisions that aren't classified, so that people can vote on how they want me to decide on things. So it would be a truly democratic administration. Thanks for watching. Vote for Mitch.